be ghost.
Laura,
There's
what are you up
lots
to?
of ghosts around here anyway. We should keep going. I think throne room right through here. And she goes up to that door. Like, she's okay.
Sure.
Her deception score is like a 10. So not too much better than Charlotte's.
Okay, so everyone except for Laura so far has moved forward. Laura, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I guess.
Parkour over the table. Okay.
I was debating it, but there's no way to make the lines move straight when my hands shake. So
So yes, you do find your way back into the throne room, which you have already been in. And in fact, the hidden panel that Kreetha opened in the last or the one before that session is still open. Like, it's still...
It's just
still
wide
there.
open. She didn't close it.
And from this room, you know that the shrine that you took refuge in is the north door on the western side of the room.
And up diagonal.
Basically.
Yeah, up here. Yeah, Kreetha's just making her way up there.
Making
my way down. See, you and I went to the same place, Gail.
I've been watching too much Critical Role. But Charlotte's gonna...
Walking fast. You're on a frog. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. With Calder's help, Charlotte will follow Calder instead of doing right hand, right?
Well, he'll. It's like we're walking past the fire, walking over the bedrolls.
The fire is out at this point.
I'm gonna assume that I follow at this point because, like, I don't know who's moving Meepo. Is Meepo moving?
I have not moved Meepo. Someone else is moving him, and that's fine.
I just moved him.
Are we doing a rest or are we opening this door?
I want to get the ghost out of Kreetha.
We're going
Okay,
up
exorcism
here.
first.
The thing is that this up here is the cathedral, and that is where Durgadon's body is, but that's not where he should be buried.
No,
so
but
arguing, I would be arguing that we would gather Durgadon's bones and then go back to put them in the actual.
I mean, it's a cathedral. This is where you would.
With your knowledge of dwarven lore, Kreetha, both naturally and from the ghost in your head, yes, it's true that dwarves like to be buried in specific sepulchers that they built for the purpose. However, being buried underneath the bones of your enemies is dwarf as fuck.
You fucking metal.
So there's that. We know that Durgadon is interred beneath the bones of the orcs that killed him. So like either solution would probably be worthwhile.
Let's see how he feels when we get in there.
Yeah. We'll know more when the ghost sees where the remains are.
Kreetha just thinks that's a big waste of an awesome fucking sepulcher. But, you know.
It's something that we can...
Well,
if the Boulder Shoulder, if Clan Boulder Shoulder is willing, it takes over this place, that is a problem that the dwarves can correct.
Yeah, and besides, when we were in the burial ground before, I searched for one that was labeled for Durgadon, and he didn't have one made. So we'd have to get one made, and that takes a while.
Kreetha, when you enter this this cathedral with the ghost in your head, passing the threshold is physically difficult for a moment. This is not a place that the ghost was welcome before this, and as you look over the bodies of the orcs that are just piled and piled up, again, you get that flash of Durgadon standing on a table, laying waste to the orcs around him, as he sort of draws his last breath, and Arundil is not consumed with grief this time. You see the same scene that you saw before. Last time, you saw him from the perspective of a dwarf that considered himself a coward, right? A dwarf that was watching this happen and had to flee. This time, you see the memory again, but all Arundil feels is this swell of pride that he was second in command to such an incredibly powerful and incredibly tenacious dwarf who stood his ground against absolutely impossible odds and died as a dwarf should, killing orcs.
On top of the altar.
The grief and the self-loathing fades away, and it leaves you with this sense of almost serenity in this hallowed place. You look around and you see, yes, the dwarven carvings and reliefs and tapestries are still ruined by orcish graffiti and feces and such, but like this room feels to Creetha holier than any place that she's ever been.
It's pretty impressive. She's not really big on holy places.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do y'all do?
Creetha is going to kind of get down off of Stinky, and well, Stinky, stay there. And is going to kind of walk towards the front, towards where Durgadin is, and she's, as she's feeling this change in emotions and stuff, she's going to be kind of quietly talking to Arundel, like back and forth type thing. So you're probably going to be hearing a lot of dwarven coming out of her mouth in that weird accent. But she only has the accent when it's her talking, which must be weird. So this is all right, you think?
I could not imagine a better place to rest than next to the one I called my commander, and I could not imagine a greater fate than to lie beside the one who defended this citadel to his last breath.
Perhaps we put you both on altar? You should always lie higher than this trash.
Durgadin's final thoughts were not of your failure, but rather of his utter contempt of his enemy and slaughtering them by the score.
Yes.
Charlotte looks very like what? She leans over to Calder. How do you know that?
I saw a vision of it. Don't worry about it.
What?
And there's the perks to resting here.
Wait. So do you mean Arundil might not be the only ghost here?
More like there's a entire creepy resonance hitting here. I don't know.
Creetha kind of
I'm debating
around.
whether or not I say it. Actually, I would probably just say something cleric shit.
Yeah, but Creetha would kind of turn around and say, even one such as I knows that places have memory, places hold ghosts, not just ghosts, but everything. It's what makes place holy or not. I mean, I'm not cleric. I'm not mage to great with the spirits, but
I'm no wizard.
that is taught when we are young.
Charlotte goes, oh, right, fuck. And she pulls her pack around and she pulls out the gauntlet that she had taken off of Durgadin's body. And I'll just say it's the left one. And she'll go and hand it to Creetha and be like, I think Durgadin's left hand should be returned to him.
Yes.
Nice.
I would think so. She puts it onto the altar, kind of cleans the altar just a little bit, and looks down to see if she can tell, because I know that when we first went in, it was described that we could actually see like the large orcs that had died, but also Durgadin.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true, or am I hallucinating?
Durgadin's body is underneath the bones of the orcs that had fought him. You can see his bones. You can tell what's orc and what's dwarf, especially given that he's still got his armor on.
Cool.
So yes.
So she literally just starts picking orc bones and tossing him over her shoulder, undigging out Durgadin.
As you do so, there is a glow that comes up over the altar, and it's not like a dangerous glow. It's more of a peaceful glow, and
I'll whisper to Kasha, it's glowing now.
You feel, Kretha, the ghost of Arundil exit your body and turns back towards you, and he looks at you directly in the eye, and the rest of you can see this as well because he's got that sort of ghostly, sort of pale appearance, and he says, "I never believed that my deliverance would come at the hands of a goblin. And perhaps I gave your race too short shrift." And he begins to sort of ascend. And as the room returns to its normal level of light, Charlotte and Calder feel for just a moment, for just an instant, another presence, but they can't quite place it, but it feels familiar. And then the room returns to normal, and the bones are just bones, and the altar is just an altar.
I'm gonna say in quick dwarven, see? Told you I'd bring it back.
No.
Not quite what I
She's
meant,
just
but
kind of
what?
frozen for a bit, like mid, like tossing stuff out to find the body, like. And then she just kind of pushes the rest of it aside and pulls the bones out from her pack and lays them down, not even putting him up on the altar like her original plan was. She just lays the bones approximately, people kind of, she knows where the knee bone is connected to the kind of gently, so it looks like they're laying down next to each other.
Bone.
Yeah, I mean, approximately. She didn't take
Yeah.
anatomy classes or anything, but. And then she just kind of gets up and she's just really quiet after that. And kind of just goes back and climbs up on Stinky.
I am giving you a level of exhaustion. You are at a disadvantage on skill checks and attack rolls until you take a rest.
Okay.
So yeah, Charlotte will start making her way back towards the door and say, "All right, well, I'm tired as fuck.
I'll hold my hand up. This is where, as you recall, this is where we rested last time, so this is a safe enough place."
Are we all in? As Charlotte starts pulling out the materials to set an alarm.
Well, except for Lore.
Wait, what?
Indeed, Lore, what are you up to during this time?
Oh, I was there. I just didn't move my marker.
Oh, okay.
All good.
Oh, okay.
Just want to make
Just
sure.
like steps out of the shadows of the hallway.
For those who are watching, M has worked several 12-hour shifts in a row, so they're not doing incredibly well, and I'm very glad that they're with us.
Like, I think there's a bulb out here. Like, there's a really dark corner. I apologize.
So yeah, Charlotte will start ritual casting alarm over the entrance. I don't know if y'all want to shove the half of the cathedral pew back in the way of the door.
I will signal to Meepo. We should probably do that.
All right.
Graith is already pretending to be asleep on on a.
This is a
Thank
thing
you.
Kreetha does. Like, when she decides it's time to sleep, she is out.
She's not out though. She's pretending
Or
to
pretending
sleep.
to
She's
be out in this
struggling.
case.
But yes, she's just basically like, nope, I don't need to help. You know, I feel weird and I've got a lot of emotions to work through, and I'm just gonna be here. Thank you.
All right.
Goblin is processing.
I do have a couple of things to ask of
Not good at
Meepo
processing.
before we go back into rest mode.
Mm-hmm.
Does Meepo have any spell slots left? That's my question, ultimately.
Currently, no. Meepo used his last spell slot in a smite against the ghost, if I'm not mistaken.
Dang it. Dinger, that means...
He also used up all of his lay on hands.
Okay. Well, the question was more so that if he had any spell slots left, he could use them on... If he had any healing spells, we could have shoved them into the spell room.
Sadly, no.
Well, barring that, then it means that we're just down to our normal spells.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got those 3 new scrolls
Yeah.
from
It's true. It's true.
Arundil's stash: Alarm, Enlarge, Reduce, and Water Breathing.
Don't you need to inscribe them though?
I can't. And we probably shouldn't waste time doing that. I already have Alarm. I can't do Enlarge, Reduce because I can't see people.
What about What about water breathing?
Water Breathing is too high level for me to transcribe.
But I can...
But,
it lasts for... The spell lasts...
Cost-wise?
The spell lasts a day.
Like gold I have on hand wise.
Fuck it, like have my money.
So, and also time. I'm worried about the orcs finding their way in here before we can find our way out of here. It would take me a long time to transcribe that, and I'm very tired already.
How long is a long time?
What level is Water Breathing?
Looking it up right now. It would help if I could spell.
Water Walk? Water Breathing. 3rd level transmutation.
Oof.
So it would take me 6 hours to transcribe it for 300 gold worth of material.
And during that time, you're not resting.
Yeah.
Right.
I can... However, it is on the sorcerer list, so I can just cast it.
Okay.
Which would be great.
Which,
in the morning.
Which is fine and all. But we can take an extra day.
It's whether or not the orcs will let us take an extra day is now the question.
Do we want to go reset the fucking trap? Because that's easy enough to do.
That's
What
actually
trap?
not a bad idea. The axe trap.
The axe trap. We could
the
just
hidden
go
You
door.
guys
reset the trap.
disassembled it.
The axe trap was
And-
like you took the heads off of those axes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mending is a cantrip, yes?
That's fair. I have to sleep.
I know you have to sleep. But if we want to, like, quick run and go do that, because that'll take 5 minutes. Or, 20 minutes. Right? Because it's 10 minutes a thing. Fix the axe heads, take a nap, take tomorrow to transcribe the thing, and then and possibly finish the genocide, and then, go deal with the dragon. Because we've been gone for weeks.
No, not that.
What's another day?
We've only been in. Honestly, we've only been inside of this tomb for maybe a day.
I
No,
think
it's
we're
definitely
pushing past
been longer
2
than
this time.
We're
We're
probably
up to 30.
between 48 and 72 hours down here at this point. I know time's
And
wibbly
Nobody
wobbly in
here
D&D.
has keen mind or a watch.
What
Mhm.
worries me is that in the very short time that we've been down here, thousands of orcs have moved in north of this mountain. So if they're moving at that rate, they'll be here sooner than not.
If they're
That I
moving
agree
at
with.
that rate, considering how, can I roll a history check to see how fast armors normally move?
Sure. With a 15, it's weird that I didn't hear it roll. I saw it roll, but I didn't hear it. With a 15, I will say that, yeah, moving armies over land is a faster process than, like, going down into a dungeon. I'm not going to say that you are sure you've got days left, but you're pretty sure you're not going to get swarmed in the next few hours. Unfortunately, even with a 15, you can't quite tell, like, is an extra day going to lead to us being overrun by orcs? It's a hard maybe.
I think if you want to go reset the trap, that's a good idea. But my first priority is getting some rest.
And also,
Charlotte's gonna...
The door from the trapped room that led you here was a secret door as well.
Yeah,
so,
and that's
like,
easy enough to put back in place.
That's also a possibility. You can put it back in place.
I'm assuming we did that both times we went through. All three times we went through it.
You can go double check. If you're going that way anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Meepo, join Lore so that not alone.
The thing is, either we've been down here for multiple weeks, right? Or that army has been moving for months already.
No, the army was totally moving for months. We've only been down here for maybe 3 days. And they went from not being on the horizon to filling the north of this mountain.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, a horizon's only, what, like 28 miles away? An army can move, like, about 20 miles-ish in a day. So...
Yeah, so it's just a matter of time before they find their way in here.
Well, sure, but they gotta find it first. And if they're gonna come in through the dragon door, then, like, fuck it.
I will argue...
We fought them at the dragon door.
That there is a front door that is easy to find.
Yeah.
And then she puts her head back down.
This is correct. There is a front door that's easy to find. I know this very well.
So yes, you are able, through your ingenuity and possibly some magic, you are able to reset the dwarven axe trap, no problem. You are also able to more or less erase the traces of your passage through the secret door in that trapped room. It won't take too terribly long. Maybe if they, like, really look at it with a magnifying glass, they might see you, but orcs aren't known for their attention to detail. So yes, you will be able to, at the very least, buy yourself some time by getting the trap reset and the door rehidden.
All right. And so after we then do that, we then can castle up inside of the cathedral and gear ourselves up for a rest.
I did not mean to do that. I am applying a long rest.
Honk shoe, honk shoe.
So you sleep. It's not a particularly restful sleep, except for Creetha, who feels the most at peace she's probably felt at for a long time.